The M&A team are lucky to be based in the heart of Shropshire, reportedly one of the UK's most haunted counties. Our hometown of Wenlock has its fair share of ghost stories too. Not only is Shropshire a paranormal hotspot, but it's also an utterly beautiful county. A wise man once told me of how he reminded his postwoman of how lucky we are to live in such a place. It's all too easy to miss the beauty when you're rushing through your everyday life, so every now and then, take the time to look. As the day passes, colours and views change, the landscape continually evolving, and every day there is something new to see. Thanks for the tip, Dave. One such place of pure beauty is the 19-mile stretch of Wenlock Edge.
Hello and welcome to this special extended episode of Ghostly Tales with M&A. Tonight we bring you to Wenlock Edge. Now, this place is very familiar to us, not only because it's on our doorstep, but because it's the site of one of our very first investigations from Series 1. Back then, we were just starting out as a team, finding our feet in the paranormal world. Now I like to think we've gained much more knowledge of our field and grown from it. You might be wondering what encouraged us to investigate these woods. Well, that's why we're here tonight, to tell you just some spooky tales of Wenlock Edge.
On many occasions, a man can be seen standing at the side of the road, not far from the plough inn. The ghostly entity stands at the side of the road, seemingly waiting for oncoming traffic to pass. However, when unsuspecting drivers draw near, the man is said to dart out in front of them, causing them to brake or swerve out of the way. One eyewitness account, a Mr. Howarth, describes his encounter with the spectral pedestrian. Now, he was heading home one night towards Wenlock when he saw the figure of a man at the side of the road. Now, this guy at the side of the road looked as real as you and I. Now, as he reached the point of where the man stood, the figure rushed down into the road in front of Mr. Howarth's car. Of course, he slammed on his brakes, but there wasn't enough time, and he was almost certain that he'd run over the man. Now, when Mr. Howarth finally plucked up the courage to leave his car, he found nothing. No man, no damage to his car. He was alone.
One of the most famous of the Wenlock Edge ghosts is that of Ippikin, the 13th century robber knight. Ippikin and his band of thieves used the heavily wooded area of the Wenlock Edge to their advantage. Lying in wait, they waited for carriages to approach before jumping out of their hiding places and stealing all that they could carry. It wasn't just robbery the gang became famous for, they were also guilty of rape and murder too. Descriptions of Ippikin paint him as a very ugly man. He was said to have harsh features, including a pointy, long chin. He was often seen wearing a hooded cape, perhaps trying to disguise his unsightly features. With their ill-gotten gains, the gang would retreat back to their lair, a cave in the bottom of a cliff along the Wenlock Edge. It is said that over the years they amassed quite a fortune in treasure, jewellery, gold, coins and many more valuable objects. One night the gang was sheltering in their cave from a terrible storm. A bolt of lightning hit a piece of stone that hung out over the top of the entrance to the cave. That piece of stone fell off and blocked the entrance, trapping not only the robbers but their treasures inside forevermore. The area around the cave is said to still be haunted to this day by Ipecac and his men. Many people report seeing a hooded figure in the area, and the flickering of candlelight has been seen inside the cave through tiny little gaps in the rock. Also, a feeling of being watched or followed is often reported too. Those that are brave enough will stand at the top of that cliff and call out a certain saying that is said to draw Ipecac out of his hiding place, only to push the taunter to their death. Now if you're brave enough, I'll tell you that saying, and you can try it out for yourselves. All you need to do is stand above the cave and call out, "Ipecac, Ipecac, keep away with your long chin."
About a year ago, we came to Ipecac's Rock to test the legend for ourselves. In a Facebook poll, you guys chose me to say the taunt. Now, thanks very much for that. And I'm glad to say I survived. Yeah, take a look at what happened. Hi guys, thanks for voting for me, and well, no, not really thank you, but hey ho. So here we go. Ipecac, Ipecac, keep away with your long chin. Hey, looks like I'm quite safe, guys.
Now, we challenge you to the Ipecac challenge. As many of you are local to us, head to Ipecac's Rock, say the taunt, and see what happens. Make sure you video it, and make sure you post it on our Facebook page with the hashtag Ipecac Challenge. Now, we'll pick a winner, and that winner will win an M&A prize. Wilderhope Manor is another area along Wenlock Edge that's had many reports of ghostly goings on. The most commonly seen entity is that of Thomas Smallman, a man who once owned the land which Wilderhope now sits on. The manor itself was built by his brother Francis. Thomas was a major in the Royalist army during the English Civil War. Unfortunately, he found out that whilst he was away, some of Cromwell's men were robbing him. So the major set out to find the thieves and take back what they had stolen. He found them on Wenlock Edge. He killed several of them and then returned home. However, one day, on his way to Shrewsbury with messages from the king, he was captured by Roundhead soldiers. They took him back to Wilderhope Manor, locked him in a room whilst they decided what to do with him. Thomas knew of his secret exit, where he managed to escape the room. He went to the stables, mounted his horse, and galloped away. Unfortunately, the Roundhead soldiers heard him and gave chase. Smallman knew his only chance for survival was to ride his horse over Wenlock Edge. The horse died, but Thomas survived to tell the tale by grappling onto a tree to break his fall. And to this day, the area where he made this jump is known as Major's Leap.
There have been many accounts of people claiming to have seen Major Thomas Smallman. Sometimes he's seen in the manor, wandering its halls, and other times he's been seen on the Wenlock Edge road, upon a big black steed, dressed in royalist garb with a plume on his hat. One unsuspecting decorator at the manor reported that a spirit of the Major's description acknowledged the painter's presence by raising a hand in greeting, after the decorator had seen the figure watching him before the entity mysteriously disappeared.
Now these are just 3 of the ghostly tales, all reported from Wenlock Edge Woods, but there are many more. The ghosts of round-head soldiers, a headless horseman, and even monks have all been reported in the area. Now it's often said that passing motorists often have trouble in their car as they drive along the road that parallels the Wenlock Edge. Their car will suddenly break down for no apparent reason before restarting again a few moments later.
Whether you believe the tales or not, we leave you to decide. But this place is full of wonder and history, and well worth a visit.
As always guys, if you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe.
We'll be back next Tuesday at 9 PM with more ghostly tales with M&A.
See you there guys.
Bye!